too big, they sumo. Pockets too big, they sumo. Pockets too big, they sumo.
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. The enthusiasm of this Cincinnati crowd in full effect a moment ago as their Bengals took the field to the delight of this sold-out crowd. And they're all set as they'll match up with Ryan Tannehill and the visiting Miami Dolphins. The return man is Grant. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Let's go. Zero.
On second down, here's Tannehill. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13.
Hey, 20. Zero.
Tannehill now to throw. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Carl Lawson. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here's Matt Hawk now to punt. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
Five-oh. Larry, you're 18.
Now the first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
They've got to do a better job up front and create some space because they're right there, almost literally on their own goal line.
Just a couple of feet away from a safety. That could have been disastrous. Dalton gives to Bernard. And he's able to get this up just shy of the 15. That'll go for a gain of 13, helping big time to get away from that end zone. 1st down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
93, 52, 93, 44. There you go.
And now to the air, Dalton. He's going to wind up and air it out. He rifles one that's intercepted. The rookie Minkah Fitzpatrick with a pick. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
A pitch out to Drake. And he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage with a penalty flag down. This might push him back further. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now it's Tannehill. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down. Well, so they just got the football on an interception. They almost gave it right back the same way.
And you know, when you look over to the bench after that type of a play, number one is pure relief. Didn't give it up. But it's not the coach you're worried about yelling at you. It's those guys on defense who just intercepted the pass who want to break over there. Hey, take care of the football, man.
It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Vontaze Burfict. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. And the head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with it and try and get him settled.
The drive starts with a handoff to Bernard. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now a carry for Bernard. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. The tackle that time by William Hayes.
Well, when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, 1st round went to the offense, 2nd round the defense. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. They look to throw on 3rd with Dalton. And Eifert has it. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Dalton to his big target, Eifert, for the Cincinnati first.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations. But a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
Giovanni Bernard, nothing but green grass. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Giovanni Bernard with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bengals are going to take a 1st quarter lead. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Bullock out now to kick this one away. Here comes Grant on the return. So now here come the Dolphins. The result's not great thus far. A punt on the first drive and an interception last time out.
And let's face it, every team wants to come out on the field and play with some confidence, play with some tempo, play with some rhythm. And when you're making those types of mistakes, you're not getting any of that put together.
So what do you say, time to get back to the basics for them?
In a lot of ways, yes. But the biggest one, of course, is finding people who will take care of the football and make a few plays. You got to have a drive now that calms down the entire team.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Tannehill. And that is incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing. Interestingly, that throw is probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To throw is Tannehill. Looking deep downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now. 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll begin here with Bernard. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Now after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. A first carry for the second-year man, Joe Mixon. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
There you go, 368. 57, you got 59 over there.
Now a play fake here on first down. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Cameron Wake in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. An 8-yard gain, so that gets him halfway there. Now they're left with a 3rd and 8 more.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Here you go, Cam. Lead.
Third down, a shot here for Dalton. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Cannon Balaj. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
Let's go. Here you go, Tiger.
Tannehill hands to Drake. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I know it's the first half, but it's still hard to curb the enthusiasm for that stop. 3rd and 1, and the offense can't get there. The defensive team has got to feel very good about themselves. Great job out-leveraging the offense.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Miami. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will get inside the 20 and be touchdown just outside of the 15-yard line. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. Cordray Tankersley on the stop defensively.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he's got room. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice gain.
There you go, 368. Lead. There you go, 368. 52-44. Get ready for 57 over there. On the ball.
First and 10 for Dalton. To Mixon on the check down. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
There you go, on the ball.
And the pitch goes to Mixon. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
5-0. Hey, get ready for something coming left.
Two minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. Caught Eifert over the middle. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. 10 yards there and a Bengal first.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Over here. Yes. Larry! Nice.
Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. On the right side, caught by Green. And he'll be marked down deep into Miami territory. A big play. Dalton to his favorite receiver, Green. And even 40 yards.
Move!
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. 2nd down, Dalton. Green's open, and he's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A.J. Green, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. This time, the extra point up and good. And the lead now stands at 13. Bullock out now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And out come the Dolphins now. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
On 1st down, Tannehill. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. 23 yards on the play. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
Now a 1st down throw, Tannehill. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. A gain of 6 there on 1st. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Hey, 20.
Out of the gun, Tannehill. Looking for Amendola, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Darquez Dennard. And now off to the races, down the right side. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for the Bengals TD.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick 6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Extra point up and good by Bullock. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Fresh off the pick 6, it's Tannehill. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1.
Let's go. 50. Get set.
Tannehill on first down. Trying to lay one up deep. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Back this.
Their D gets the INT. Now what can Dalton do? And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. He was looking for John Ross that time. And now it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
368.
To throw again. Dalton going deep downfield for Ross. And it's knocked away and incomplete. John Ross, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd down.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Here's Dalton. And caught right side, Green. And he's only able to get it to right around the 3. So we've reached halftime here in the Queen City, and it's the Bengals leading this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
Well, that's the desired outcome coming out here in the second half of being able to run the football and establish a little bit of pace and maybe even a bit of dominance at the line of scrimmage. And they want that to continue. Way too early to think about this being ball control time. But the way they're running it, you got to think they may want to continue that and see if they can go ahead and grind their opponents into submission.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 48-yard line. A handoff to Mixon. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Here's the rookie from the U, Mark Walton. And he's got some space here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Dalton throwing on 2nd down. And the grab by Croft. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Dalton going to break the huddle, come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Dalton operating in the red zone now. His throw caught at about the 5. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Well, it's real easy to ascertain that in the game plan, Andy Dalton to A.J. Green was deemed vital.
And it certainly was the focal point of the defense. They just had trouble with it. Most teams do.
Well, that just tells you how good it is. These guys have grown together, coming into the Bengals, getting together early, and continuing to get better. Doesn't matter what defense is put out there. They feel like they have an answer for it.
They'll give it to Mixon. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Well, if you look where that play starts, O-line versus D-line, that was a battle won by the D-line.
Yeah, and oftentimes it's won by quickness, off the ball. Who can handle the guy across from them best? On that play, the defensive line did exactly that.
Now Dalton. Green's open, and he's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A.J. Green with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Bengals add on to their lead. Bullock good on the extra point, and that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. Bullock out now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Drake off the give from Tannehill. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says try something different, try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
Tannehill going deep here for Stills. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
This will be fielded at the 17. Good blocking there, and nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
A very solid gain of 27.
AD to AJ. And it's been like that throughout this game. And I think it's a huge reason why they are in the lead.
I like that. AD to AJ. Eddie Dome to AJ Green. Such a tough cover. And they are proving it here in this one. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
To throw on 2nd down. Dalton. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he's brought down. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a 1st down here. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the 1st.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. 11 more on that one and another 1st down.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
To throw here, Dalton. And that is out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And it's 2nd down. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal.
On the ball! On the ball!
They'll come out in the pistol. They'll give it to him up the middle. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
I have to laugh a little bit because He actually handed it off. I thought with the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown in this one already, he'd go ahead and fling and try and get a third one.
Yeah, now from this spot on third down, I think he'd probably throw it here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. They won't even send in a running play here, I don't believe. I think they go ahead and try and throw it for a touchdown.
Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal?
57, you got 59 over there.
Here's a run with Mixon, and he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season, and the Bengals have got it on cruise control. Here's Bullock now for the extra point. Extra point up and good by Bullock, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Bullock out now to kick this one away. The return man is Grant. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? Well, a lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Back to throw, Tannehill. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 33. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. Trying to get it that time to Stills. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost like they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
You got 59 over there.
Back to Mixon on 1st down. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Here's a give to Mixon. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing, Dalton. Green's open, and he's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Andy Dalton with his 3rd touchdown pass of the game. And the Bengals use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Bullock good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Bullock out now to kick this one away. Here comes Grant on the return. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Dolphins getting set to go here. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people would think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver there, Kenyon Drake. And that'll bring up second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better.
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Ryan Glasgow able to slump him from that defensive tackle spot for a loss of 5. So after the sack of Tannehill, the Dolphins come up here on a 3rd and long.
Hey, 20.
Here's Tannehill. He's going to float this one deep right side. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here's Matt Hawk now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
They toss to Mixon. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And he's out of bounds, able to get it up right near the 25 to the 24. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there. Dalton, 1st and 10. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Now they get a 4th quarter pick, a little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. And now here is another interception. William Jackson with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He was looking for Parker that time. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. On the stop was T.J. McDonald. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this.
We're good. We're good.
Again, it's Mixon. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a third and about 5.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
So Dalton now, complete to the right side. It's Eifert, and they're able to bring him down at the 20. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches.
5-0. Practice. Hey.
They run for it with Mixon. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. Right back to him on 1st down. Room here to run. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
The storyline of this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column, too.
So for the Bengals, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Pittsburgh Steelers come to town. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, things aren't looking good. It'll be an 0-5 start. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against the Chicago Bears. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.